A good midday Thursday to everyone. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. We have a doozy of a storm that's in the process of beginning to develop. You're looking at surface pressure systems here, the isobars with an area of low pressure that's developing roughly in southern Illinois, and this is the one that's going to be advancing and deepening. This is already up here, and it's already producing some backside wind gusts, as you can see here. But we're going to start to see some front side wind gusts associated with this deepening low, associated with this area of higher pressure off to the east of the Canadian Maritimes. The two are going to interact. We're going to see a much tighter pressure gradient, and the winds are going to be a whistling across our neck of the woods. This will be a very impactful storm with wind gusts 50 to 75 miles per hour in general. There could be even some higher gusts along the Green Mountain summits, but it's going to be very impactful, especially along the western slopes of the Greens, and even east of the Green Mountains and the Northeast Kingdom Highlands will see some very strong gusts in the 60s miles per hour in some locations. No part of Vermont will be left untouched by wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. That's going to be the case all starting Thursday night and lasting into the day on Friday before ending about Friday evening. This weather system will then have advanced out of the region, will be on the back side. It'll eventually lift into Canada. Let's take a look at a lot of the computer modeling, but what I also want to show you is just this incredibly cold air that's also working on down. This is going to be arriving into the deep south, and a little bit of that is going to work its way east and eventually set up a flash freeze, all of that taking place late in the day on Friday into Friday evening. Please make sure to see the latest information via heads up and an alert that'll be issued later on Thursday. And all of this for the focus for this high wind event. This will also bring some rain, of course, with some wet snow on the front side that may accumulate up to around 3, 4, 5 inches in some locations in the upper Green Mountain summits. Not a problem for too many folks, but this then eventually will melt out a little bit as everything changes to rain. Temperatures go up toward 50 degrees, and then on the backside of that freezing, flash freeze business with some potential snow showers and snow squalls. Currently, this is European on the left. We have the GFS on the right. These are the deterministic models. Strong area of higher pressure to the north, deepening low pressure out here. That's going to squeeze that temperature gradient. Here we go. We have a kind of a shot of rain. This is kind of subtropical air, so it has relatively high p-watts, around 2 to 3 standard deviations. Not a huge big deal, but a little extra moisture there. We start out as snow. This is valid at about 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday. It looks like this is going to be moving out a little bit slower, but still in progress for rain on Friday, and then some snow on the backside of that system. Again, some gusts potentially. And then that whole weather system lifts to the north into approaching Hudson Bay, James Bay. By that point in time, we're just going to see cold air working its way in, and it's going to lower the wind chill and also set up a pretty cold day for Saturday. Temperatures may not get out of the low teens, for example. And then we're looking at some general moderation. So continuing the model here, this is valid at about 1 o'clock on Saturday, Christmas Eve day. And continuing this model, you can see we get a little bit of a snow shower flurry action coming in off the Great Lakes from time to time. This is valid during the day on Monday. High pressure starts to build in and starts to give us some decent weather along by Tuesday. Tuesday looks like the next dry day, although you can see that we're encroaching with the next little shortwave trough that's going to be kind of an Alberta Clipper system. And then beyond the period, we're looking at kind of a little bit of a better day on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday could be relatively dry days, and then this next little system kind of diminishes. Higher pressure kind of takes over as we head into the late part of the week, and I'll just take you as far as I can go here. This is valid on the 31st of December. This would be basically Friday night next week. In long ways, we're looking at another rainstorm potential setting up. That's a long ways out. We'll worry about that at that point in time. I want to also show you this extremely cold air mass. This is well below normal. This is minus 33, and it's basically off the charts here. This is the GFS ensemble, the European deterministic. So running the computer model here, this is our warm-up that's going to be taking place on Friday. You can see that it gets replaced by this sort of nose of colder air. And this is what's going to give us our flash freeze. So we get into temperatures that'll be closing in on near normal and then going below normal. And this is going to be the case, it looks like, as we head into long ways around a corner. So beyond that point, this is getting into about the 27th, 28th. You can see that we're running just a little bit below normal, but look at this warm-up. More warm air is going to start to encroach. It looks like ahead of the New Year's holiday, skiers are not going to be happy about this at all. And that also is likely going to come with some rain. And typically when it comes with rain, it usually comes with gradient winds. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont, this is the 3-hourly total accumulated precipitation. And it's one main storm system, and that's why it's fairly quiet after there. A little bit of noise in the system way around the corner. Not to worry. Total QPF looks like this. This is about 1.5 inches. And note the latest GFS run was even higher than that. So this is a pretty hefty system. Now, looking at the precipitation types, of course, it's going to start out as a little bit of snow, goes to rain, back to snow on the back end. That's going to be about it. Then we stay basically all snow. Looking at the 850 temperatures, roughly about the top of Mount Mansfield, you can see why it's raining. We go above the freezing mark, above 0-degree isotherm, and then that very sharp temperature fall, and then a very gradual buildup. A lot of moisture that's going to be up the East Coast, and again, circulating around this major system, pulling that subtropical moisture into New England, and that's going to be the case, and that's why we're looking at a pretty hefty amount of rain. And looking at the climate reanalyzer, you can see this very cold air mass all the way from the north slope of Alaska. It's now poured all the way down, headed into Texas. This eventually is going to get into Vermont by Friday evening. Meteorological output statistics weighted. It looks like the coldest weather over the next 1 through 5 day of high temperatures only will be minus 21 degrees. That deep, deep cold Arctic air is going to pull up around places like Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and so on and so forth. We never really see the deepest of the cold. Checking it about 3 days later, you can see what I mean. That begins to moderate out considerably while the west starts to warm up, and we're going to be closer to seasonal norms. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.